Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see plenty of sun around the area this morning with temperatures slowly climbing up to near 60 degrees at the current time and seeing slightly breezy winds starting to develop. And overall, expecting a fairly quiet weather day ahead. We'll have some slightly breezy winds with a slight chance of seeing a wind advisory during the afternoon. And we'll see some additional clouds building into the area. Very slight chance of few non-impactful sprinkles around the area, but overall fairly quiet weather as we move through the remainder of the week before we'll see a fairly significant coastal low developing off the southeast coast and going to bring some very unsettled conditions into the area, particularly as we get into the second portion of the weekend. So we take a look at the current surface analysis. High pressure in control to our north, and we're on the periphery of that, helping turn those winds more onshore, particularly as we move through the next couple of days, and we'll keep that onshore flow as that area of low pressure develops off the southeast coast. If we look at the current visible satellite, we can see those mainly clear skies across the area, starting to see some additional clouds develop just along the coast or off the coast of Ocean City, and as mentioned, do expect some clouds to develop as we get into the afternoon time frame, as we get some more of that daytime heating going. If we look at the European model here for what we can expect for the next several days, as mentioned, high pressure generally in control over the northeast part of the country for the next couple of days. Going to keep that onshore flow slightly breezy through the day today and slightly less breezy as we move into the day on Friday, but generally high temperatures just below average and fairly nice conditions. The more unsettled weather will start to move into the area as we get into the day on Saturday, with that area of low pressure starting to develop off the southeast coast. Models have come into a bit better agreement with this coming together and a general motion of the storm as we move through the remainder of the weekend. As you can see, expecting some light precip to move into the area as we get particularly later in the day, Saturday, and more so into Saturday evening. We'll start to see the breeze on the increase through Saturday as well. So generally degrading trend as we move through Saturday and particularly later in the day on Saturday. And as we move overnight into Sunday, we will start to see those winds really start to crank up as that low comes together and moves closer to the local area, and also expecting some widespread rain showers to move into the area. It does look like we'll see fairly persistent and strong onshore flow as we move through the day on Sunday. That's going to elevate those wave heights as well as some coastal flooding potential, in addition to seeing some a pretty decent soaking of rain over the area and seeing those sustained winds fairly strong up in the 30 mile per hour range, with those peak gusts at least 50 to 55 miles per hour as we move through the day on Sunday. Moving into next week, we'll continue to see lingering impacts as this low pressure generally looks to linger around the area just off the coast as we move into early next week. Still seeing some breezy conditions, but we'll see those winds coming down from the peaks on Sunday, and generally seeing some rain showers are expected to continue around the area as we move through Monday and at least into the first part of Tuesday. But excuse me, it does look like we'll see that area of low pressure generally start to pull away from the area as we move into the middle of next week. At least that's the way things are looking at this time, with potentially things drying out and quieting down as we move through the middle of next week. So looking at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we'll see green conditions through the morning. We do introduce a yellow risk for some elevated winds as we get into the afternoon time frame, expecting those peak gusts up around 23 knots. So can't rule out a brief period of a wind advisory this afternoon, generally seeing those high temperatures of 66 degrees. So slightly below average for this time of year, but seeing those clouds building in as well, expecting the ceiling to develop around 3,000 feet. And we'll see that ceiling break for a bit early evening time frame and then likely build back in as we move through the early morning hours of our Friday. We'll see those temperatures cooling down to around 52 degrees, which is about seasonable for this time of year, and we'll see that breeze weakening a bit, staying around 7 to 12 knots through the early morning hours. Tides are running slightly above normal, and we'll see the extended forecast here, as mentioned, quiet conditions as we move through the remainder of the work week with those temperatures in the mid-60s. And we'll see temperatures back up in the upper 60s to around 70, so fairly seasonable as we move through the remainder of this extended forecast here, and we start to introduce that unsettled weather pattern, looking at a 60% chance of rain as we move through the day Saturday, and those breezy conditions developing, and then bulk of the unsettled the most unsettled conditions will be on Sunday with rain showers, widespread rain showers through the day. And again, looking at some pretty good rain totals expected with some windy conditions, the onshore flow, and some coastal flooding possible as well. And as we move into next week, we'll see a gradual improving trend moving through the first part of the week with rain likely lingering around the area for Monday with some breezy conditions, and then general decreasing chances of rain through Tuesday, and those clouds will start to break as well, and those winds calming down as that area of low pressure does look to pull away from the area, at least the way things are looking at this time. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.